As our last presenter for the evening, I have the great pleasure to introduce Dr. Demi Kouzounas of Saco, who of course helped co-sponsor this with the Maine GOP. Demi was re-elected as the chair of the Maine Republican Party for her third term on January 16th, 2021. In April, Republican National Committee Chairwoman Rona McDaniel announced 4 new RNC regional co-chairs who will play key roles in supporting Chairwoman McDaniel as she continues her successful leadership of the party. Chair Kouzounas was chosen to lead the Northeast region of a lot of places: Connecticut, Delaware, D.C., Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Vermont, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands.
My favorite too. No.
And basically, she's becoming the new, Empress of the world. So, Chair Kouzounas, a graduate from Thornton Academy and the University of Maine at Orono, graduated in 1981 from Tufts University School of Dental Medicine. She and her husband, Joseph, then joined the U.S. Army, serving in the 86th Medical Detachment in Gießen, Germany from 81 to 84. They have practiced dentistry together for 35 years. How many cavities, oy. And have 2 dental practices, Scarborough and Skowhegan, which means she's on the road continuously. Chair Kouzounas was one of the founders of Bright Smiles, a free children's clinic in Portland, which provided dental services to children who would not normally receive dental care due to their family's incomes or not having Maine care coverage. She's the co-founder of Dentists Who Care for Maine, which gives an annual day of free care. Previously, she served as the president of the Maine Dental Association and has been involved legislatively with access to care issues. She has also served on several nonprofit boards and continues to serve the Lunder-Deneen board called Motivate, which is involved in oral health education of residents in nursing homes. She lives with her husband Joe in Saco, Maine, and has 2 grown married children and 2 granddaughters. Let's welcome Demi Kouzounas.
And I agree that our grandchildren are one of the reasons why I'm very heavily involved. I think that if we don't care for the next generations, we're going to have a lot of issues here in Maine, and we all need to work together towards it. By the way, I like the word agape. It's still used in Greek today. I am basically beat both of them as far as generations. I'm first generations in the United States and born in Sanford, Maine. So I just wanted to kind of mention that. So on that. Anyways, it's so nice to see all of you here in person, inside, because I think last time we were outside. And it's like I call it the new reawakening of the COVID slumber. That's my term. Folks, the masks are off and the doors are open, and I'm thrilled. The other thing I want to mention before we get started was today is Flag Day. So happy Flag Day. It's a commemoration of the adoption of our flag in June 14th, 1777. So I thought it was a cool day to be standing here in front of you all. I'm here because it's time for us to come together, to work for a common goal, which I think that's why you're all here. Put our differences aside and turn the state red. It's been 6 months since the November elections, and I'm sure, like me, a lot of you are still hurting about the fact that we didn't win the presidential race and the congressional seats, but we did well here in Maine, really well. We need to continue going in the right direction. All of you are here because you feel like I do, and that we can do this and make a difference. Folks, we all want to live in freedom and not a socialist country like my parents who left their country to come to the United States to get away from that socialist country they were living in, where basically there is high class and low class. There is no middle class, and that's why we're here. We need to make Governor Mills go. Bye-bye. Her elitist style of government here in Maine needs to come to an end, where our voices are not being heard at all. She doesn't want to hear from us. It's crazy that she still needs to keep the state in a state of civil emergency. This is ridiculous. Let's face it, she is following the directive given to her by the progressives in D.C. and her good buddy Biden. And as he said recently, I did think he said something foolish like, my good friend, the Republican governor of Maine. And we all said, soon enough, soon enough. Yeah. President Biden. And she is being well compensated for that, as you all notice, because she's following the rules that she's been set forward. But no worries, she continues to botch our Maine economy, which is in the 8th of the bottom of all the states in our country. She now wants to, just found out today, right? She wants to pay people to go back to work. She's paying people to stay home, but don't worry, she's going to pay people to, did I just move this? She's going to pay people to go back to work. I think it's if you go to work fairly immediately, you get $1,500. Yep, and if you, but you can't collect, right? And if you go back to work on the 15th, I think, or the 20th of June or something like that, you get $1,000. I think July, it's a little bit less. And my question to all of you is, us essential workers, which is about 50% of the working force in the state of Maine, everybody from healthcare to folks that were stocking our shelves, delivering our mail, manning our pharmacies, I guess we don't matter. We went to work. We worried about how we're going to help, in my case, my grandchildren, because their daycares were closed. We worried about, I couldn't see my mom because she's elderly and she was stuck in the house, but I went to work. But it doesn't matter about us, even though we kept the economy going. It matters about the people that are not working. Just going to pay them off. So this is what we have to fight against, and this is why we need to come together, because we have to do something about this. This is terrible. Other races that I think we need to work hard to win are our congressional races, especially CD2. This race is one of the top, almost #1 from what I've read, House races in the country. It will be looked closely. It will be invested heavily from outside sources. We do need good candidates. I understand that there are a couple of candidates who have announced their intention to run, and I think there'll be more stepping in. All I care is that Golden is gone. And remember, CD2 was won by Trump handily. That's why it is #1 in the nation for House races. We also need to work on our Maine House and Senate races that are very important, and we can get the majority in both of these bodies in our state government. We won 11 House seats in 2020, 11, and we only lost 1 Senate. And from my understanding, there are a whole lot of Democrats that are termed out. So we just need to fill these seats, get great candidates, and work hard to get those seats. We want to win and preserve our American way of life, so we need to work. Folks, the America First agenda was a winning agenda. And Biden, or as I would rather say, the Obama agenda, is all wrong for us Americans. People are realizing it now that the Republicans were right all along about the Trump agenda. It's showing. And we need to keep pushing in that direction, the right direction. And I think it shows that people throughout the country are realizing this. The RNC raised a record-breaking $44 million the first quarter of this year. We beat the Dems in fundraising just this year. You would think it would have been the other way around. Some fundraisers were actually held in Mar-a-Lago with the RNC. At the last RNC meeting in Dallas, Chairwoman Ronna McDaniels was unopposed and won her 3rd term because she was endorsed by Donald J. Trump. Also, Tommy Hicks had 3 other opponents running against him that were not that supportive of the president, and they lost, as I would say, bigly. They lost bad. By the way, I worked for Tommy Hicks' re-election. I made a lot of phone calls for him. People forget that co-chair Hicks is very close to the Trump kids. So this is also very important in the direction we're going. And a few weeks ago, we were blessed to have Ron Kaufman, the RNC treasurer, visit Maine, and I, along with Governor LePage, Governor LePage, went out to dinner. This is part of the same team, the RNC team, that was there during the Trump administration. In other words, President Trump is still very heavily involved with the RNC and with the Republican Party. By the way, I don't know if you all know, but today is President Trump's 75th birthday. And maybe it's close to Biden's 78, but boy, there's a lot of difference there. I don't know. So anyways, let's talk about voter integrity. Big question everybody's asking me. We are working with our national partners to look at voter integrity throughout the country. Our own national committee man, Josh Tardy, is on this committee here in Maine. So all states are looking closely at voter integrity. But let me just explain one thing about Maine. Our machines are not connected to each other through the internet. They are not Dominion machines, and we have paper ballots. It's a far better system than other states because we can go back and recount those paper ballots. We actually had several recounts. And guess what? They all came exactly the same number as on election day. But we're not stopping there. We're going to review key voter data with our county chairs and follow up with town clerks and work to find voters who do not reside in Maine. And these are the voters that are basically college towns. We need to look at that, and we're going to work on doing so. We may look different than Arizona and Georgia, which, by the way, I'm following the Arizona recount closely. But just because we're different doesn't mean we don't check everything here in Maine to make sure everything is right. We are working on candidate recruitment, and we have assigned one of our very own, Jack Chinquette, to basically head a committee with our legislative leaders, our county chairs, and of course the Maine GOP's co-chair or vice chair, Shane Wrightsey. So we're going to work towards getting hopefully every seat filled, but with good candidates, not a candidate that doesn't want to hit a door or doesn't want to work hard to win. You have to do the work. Continuing on, let me tell you, people are telling me the enthusiasm is down. People are discouraged. I'm here to tell you the opposite is true. Small donor fundraising in the state of Maine is going extremely well, and we're raising some money. We also get calls every day. I think there was a lady here today that asked me what she can do, what she can do to volunteer. We get phone calls every day at Maine GOP. We also get people that are calling us up asking that if they could run. Now, we're not reaching out to them. They're calling us up and saying, I want to run. So the enthusiasm is up, and I think folks are very frustrated with what they're seeing. So this is all great, and we plan to work very hard. Earlier this month, we targeted school board seats and municipal seats up and down the state. And because of the, especially school issues that's going on with critical race theory, we won 85% of all the I should say, seats, municipal seats and school board seats that we were helping. And again, thank you, Jack, for that. All I can tell you is, to finish out my speech here, is that people do want change. It's showing. They are fearful of the future, of the economic impact under this progressive administration. People are afraid for their children and the elderly who are in fixed income. And I don't know about you all, but everything is going up. Everything is getting very expensive. We, at the Maine GOP, are working hard through social media. Many of you might have noticed that I'm working on Twitter. Who knew I could tweet? I didn't even know what that meant, like I think a few months ago, I'm just saying. Must be my age, I don't know, no. Anyways, this is one way to get a message out. So here's the problem. We can't, go ahead and write an editorial to the paper. It's not gonna get published. You can go ahead and try to call a local TV station. You're going to have to worry if they basically quote you correctly, because they'll take some little sentence they didn't mean to intend. They'll chop it up and make some, basically take your words and flip them upside down so it doesn't sound what you wanted to say. We have to get involved with social media. All of you, express your opinions on Facebook. Express your opinion on Twitter. They're trying to shut us down. I get it. Final two things I want to add is we have a couple of great events planned for the summer. In July, we're going to have co-chair Tommy Hicks come to Maine at the Maine Military Supply in Holden, Maine. We're going to have a machine gun shoot. So it's very exciting. So go to the Maine GOP and take a look, and you'll be able to see the events and the tickets. We're also going to have Ronna McDaniels coming to Maine for the very first time in August. It will be at my hometown in Saco, and again, take a look at the Maine GOP site and be able to tell. If we don't win, we will lose our rights, our freedom, our ability to run our businesses. We will lose our autonomy, our First and Second Amendment rights, and I could go on. We are all here for the same reason, the right reason. We need to win. Thank you.
Thank you, Demi. Thank you to all our speakers, and thank you to Dr. Cheng, and thank you to all of you for coming to this wonderful event. Thank you to all those on live stream. For more information, go to grayrepublicans.org. We will have a copy of this evening's proceedings on video at our channel, and you can get to it from our website. So, God bless you, and good night.